On this Friday afternoon, taking you to Elizabeth Park in Hartford. Some beautiful shots right here. Enjoy, everybody. I'll see you back here coming up with the news at 5:30. Dennis is up next with the news at 5.
Spreading. We need to make sure that we have the hospital space. Oh, level check, test. 1 second delay.
Hi there, how are you?
Hi there, mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6.
All righty, testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2.
From WFSB, Connecticut's #1 local news, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 5.
It's Friday night. I'm Dennis House. Tonight we learned we all could be dealing with this pandemic well into the summer. Coronavirus cases continue to climb in our state. Here are the newest numbers for you, just announced by the governor. There are now nearly 5,000 cases in Connecticut, and 131 people have died so far. As the virus spreads, unemployment is hitting staggering levels. The numbers are stunning. The U.S. jobless rate jumped to 4.4%. That's ending a 50-year low of 3.5%. The country lost more than 700,000 jobs in just a matter of a couple of weeks. We'll have more on that in just a moment. But first, Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Matthew Campbell has the very latest now on how Connecticut is fighting the virus. He's live now at the state capitol. Matthew?
Yeah, Dennis, a lot of new information here. You began by talking about how this could linger into the summer, and we do have some projected peak dates for you. We can go county by county with these right now. Fairfield is up first. The peak of cases could be seen by mid to late April. Then New Haven County next, where their cases could be peaking by early May. And you can kind of see the pattern here. These cases are starting south and then working its way up north through the state, because Hartford County will be next with the peak of cases happening in mid-May. Eastern counties, though, did a really good job of flattening the curve under this model, but it would also coincide with Hartford County with their cases peaking in mid-May as well. So right now, this is going to be a race against this virus to stay ahead. And in order to stay ahead of this virus as it starts to peak, we're going to need hospital space and medical equipment to be able to treat the influx of patients. We have new information on that as well. Take a listen.
That overall, at its peak, we may need a total of 12,000 COVID beds if nothing changes due to social distancing or technology, and 4,000 ventilators.
All right, so you heard that there. 12,000 beds will be needed. Right now, we have 7,000 hospital beds, but the state is working with dorms, hotels, nursing homes to create more hospital space there. Now, you heard the call for 4,000 ventilators. Right now in our state, we have a little more than 1,000. And another thing that these models will be telling us is about schools, because if you take a look at where this lands, early May, mid-May, late May, that would suggest that students would not be returning to classrooms. We did ask the governor about that. He says that yes, it is likely that students will not be going back until after May, but will leave the final decision to call off the school year to the Commissioner of Education. That is the latest live here at the Capitol. Matthew Campbell, Channel 3 News.
Matthew, thank you. Continuing our team coverage right now, the U.S. is in an economic downturn. Employers have cut more than 700,000 jobs, and economists are predicting unemployment percentage rates for this month could hit double digits. Our chief Capitol reporter Susan Raff is live in Middletown now with a reaction and how one business owner hopes to survive after laying off all of his employees. Susan?
That's right. These are such scary numbers, Dennis. All you have to do is look around. We're live here on Route 66 in Middletown, and you can see how bad it is. Just about every store is either shut down or barely operating, and many people are now out of work. And some say this is only going to get worse. Mondo in Middletown has been open, and they've been doing a pretty good, steady business with takeout and delivery. But the owner has decided now to shut things down.
One of the reasons we actually closed, yesterday was our last day of business, was because we were still bringing crowds, and I wasn't necessarily comfortable in the climate about having crowds of people.
Keith Vibert has also been donating pizzas, a lot of them, about 25 a day, to area hospitals. Closing is hard, he says, and so is laying off his staff, about 40 people.
It stinks. I mean, you feel helpless, and then it's a weird one for me too, because we were doing takeout. We were doing a sustainable business for takeout. It didn't feel appropriate for me for us to continue being open through the peak of what's going on.
The jobless numbers say it all. Restaurants, hotels, casinos have lost about 459,000 jobs. Retailers, 46,000, and manufacturers, about 18,000. And that's just for March. The federal stimulus includes an additional $600 a week in unemployment compensation, and there are loans for businesses. But Fred McKinney, an economist from Quinnipiac University, says that won't be enough to return the economy to where it was.
You can have a loan right now. You could even have employees being brought back, but you don't have customers. And without customers, you don't have a business.
Customers are key in all of this. Coming up on Eyewitness News at 6, more uncertainty and why businesses are telling us that if they're lucky enough to come back, it will be a very slow process. We are live in Middletown. Susan Raff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Susan, thank you. Now, healthcare professionals and first responders continue to do some pretty amazing work out there. And now plenty of volunteers are pitching in as well during this coronavirus crisis. Channel 3 New Haven Bureau Chief Matt McFarland is live in the Elm City now with all the details. Matt?
Well, Dennis, here in the Elm City, the call went out for volunteers and dozens answered. In fact, New Haven's mayor says he even had a few more take the oath today for the Medical Reserve Corps. And New Haven, though, they're still looking for more.
Remember safety first.
The YouTube video shows the newest members of New Haven's Medical Reserve Corps, volunteers who've signed up and are ready and willing to lend a hand in the Elm City's fight against the coronavirus.
Most of them are licensed by the state of Connecticut in some role, either as a registered nurse, a licensed practice nurse, or a CNA. So again, these are really good people coming out to do really good work for us.
19 members went through training on Thursday.
It was really just go over a safety plan, go over some identification of personal protective equipment, do some demonstrations of donning and doffing it.
And their commitment is not lost on the city's mayor.
I can't tell you, number one, how much we need you. And number two, how grateful we are that you are willing to do this and be part of helping us address this crisis.
The head of the city's Emergency Operations Center says volunteers could be used for medical monitoring, administrative tasks, or even dispensing medicine if needed. Anyone 18 and older can be a part of the Medical Reserve Corps, and you don't need to have a medical background. We're told 200 people originally reached out to help citywide, with roughly 50 signing up to volunteer for New Haven's biggest need. That would be to staff the isolation shelter that's being set up at Hill Regional Career High School for those who are COVID positive and homeless but don't require hospitalization.
It's amazing, people are really stepping up. It's very similar to what we saw, after 9/11. People wanted to help. People wanted to get in front.
Now, if you want to volunteer for New Haven's Medical Reserve Corps, there's information on the city's website, also information on the state's website for additional volunteer opportunities as well. And of course, we've got it all linked on the Channel 3 app. We're live with the mobile newsroom in New Haven. Matt McFarland, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Matt, thank you. Governor Lamont is still urging more volunteers to come forward. You must be 18 years or older. You do not need to have a background in healthcare, though. The state needs community members to help out with food delivery and many other jobs as well. Volunteers will be sent where they are most needed and also where they feel the safest. Keep it right here for much more coverage on the coronavirus this evening. We have an entire section devoted to COVID-19 on the new Channel 3 streaming news app, where you can find all of our stories on the outbreak. You can also watch live news conferences as they happen.
All right, we're still dealing with that ocean storm. We have showers in the state, a few, but we do have gusty winds, as you heard the wind kind of whipping in our live shots. All right, let's take a look at early warning pinpoint Doppler. We got some scattered light rain showers that are mostly across northern Connecticut right now. A couple of those are in the greater Hartford area. And there's this big ocean storm. It made its closest approach to Nantucket this morning, and now it's kind of drifting away to the south of New England. But it's still got a very large and vast circulation, so this storm will continue to impact us for a while longer. Look at the recent gust in Groton out of the north-northeast at 46 miles an hour, and in many locations that wind is still gusting to over 30 miles an hour. The wind will gradually subside as the night wears on, and temperatures right now are in the 40s and low 50s. Lakeville is 47, Norwich is 48, East Hartford is 51, and West Haven is coming in at 52 degrees. So Futurecast does show that there will be a risk of showers as we go through the evening. They'll be hit or miss. Notice that by tomorrow morning, a lot of the showers are really gone, but the clouds are still in place. However, we do believe a little bit of drier air is going to work its way down from the north tomorrow to give us some sunshine, and I mean some sun during the course of the afternoon tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be a mainly dry day, not especially bright, but there will be some sunshine, and the same holds true for Sunday as well. We'll talk more about that coming up in the early warning forecast.
Bruce, thank you. Still ahead tonight, making the case for masks. More cities around the nation are urging people to cover their faces in public, why health experts say they could be vital in stopping the virus. Then some local breweries making house calls during the pandemic, why you won't have to travel very far to get a cold one. And as we head to the break, a look at how you are sharing the love. That's great. Quite a birthday celebration in Kensington. Sandy sent us this video. She and several family members drove by their aunt's house to wish her a happy birthday. Her aunt is self-quarantined with her husband during this pandemic. We'd love to see you. Show us how you are sharing the love. Upload your photos or videos right now to the Channel 3 app.
Connecticut's most watched local news. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Mayors from major cities, including New York and Los Angeles, are urging people to wear face masks when they go out in public. Now, there hasn't been any official guidance from the federal government yet on wearing masks, but the White House Coronavirus Task Force could make the recommendations to all Americans soon. Doctors believe it could drastically reduce the amount of new infections.
The days before you get symptoms, you can spread the virus, and also people never have symptoms.
This new guidance doesn't mean you should cover up with medical-grade masks. You can create a face mask covering your face with any piece of cloth, like a scarf or even a bandana will work. Healthcare workers are no doubt on the front lines of the pandemic every day. Channel 3's Kara Sundland spoke to the president and CEO of Hartford Healthcare, Jeffrey Flax, about how they are battling the virus.
Thank you so much for taking a few moments out of, I know it's an incredibly busy time, to be with us.
Thank you, Kara.
How is your staff holding up?
Our staff are remarkable, incredible human beings. The resilience that they show, the courage, the bravery, the commitment, the empathy is absolutely extraordinary. So these are trying times, unquestionably. People are working under conditions that were almost impossible to fully appreciate and anticipate. But by and large, I will say that our team is rising to the challenge, as all healthcare workers are across the state, unquestionably.
When you talk about trying times, Hartford Healthcare has, I imagine, had, I don't know how many, but at least some COVID-19 deaths. How has that been for your team to handle?
It's very difficult, but Kara, first let me say, when we see statistics being cited, these are people, and these are human beings. In every statistic we see, that's a person. So we're focused on each person, each individual, each family, each circumstance, and in the still relatively small number of people who've passed away within our facilities, it's extremely difficult for our team, our healthcare providers, to work through.
What kind of support have you received to get you through?
First of all, we've stood up behavioral health resources, both available to our staff, so members of our organization can access real-time people who work in behavioral health, as well as making that available to the community. It's one of the things, given the prolonged nature of this type of crisis, that we need to have available to all people within the region.
That's really important because I know people are hearing right now, they're starting to feel anxiety. Maybe some of their regular things are not working, of just taking a breath or a walk. You might need some extra help. What do you advise to people who are listening?
For us, I'd go to our website, hartfordhealthcare.org. I would go to call our hotline, which we've had over 40,000 phone calls. And when people feel they need that extra assistance, we're here for you. And we've got people who are expert, standing ready, and we will connect the people in the community to the right resources.
Now, here is the Hartford Healthcare COVID-19 hotline. Call 833-621-0600. There's a link also on the Channel 3 app. The Corona Beer Company is making headlines once again during this pandemic. The brewery is saying it has suspended production at its breweries in Mexico. Corona is complying with a mandate from the government that only essential businesses remain open. Breweries do not qualify as essential there. A New England Patriots truck packed with 300,000 protective masks arrived at the Javits Center in Manhattan today. The Patriots plane landed from China yesterday with more than 1 million masks. The rest of them will be distributed across Massachusetts. Members of the Connecticut State Police helped escort that truck all the way to New York, along with Massachusetts and Rhode Island State Police.
Now, Channel 3 early warning weather with Chief Meteorologist Bruce DePriest.
All right, this huge ocean storm continues to impact all of New England right now. In fact, we still have some wind alerts for eastern sections of Massachusetts, anywhere from a wind advisory to a high wind warning until 10 o'clock this evening. Here in Connecticut, we got a coastal flood advisory for Fairfield County for tomorrow morning for some perhaps minor coastal flooding. But the story for now is scattered showers in the state, and we'll be dealing with these on and off throughout the evening. They will tend to go away as the night wears on. But we got the overcast sky over Hartford. It's 53 degrees, a northerly wind at 21 miles an hour. And there is our ICAM in New London, gray and overcast, 49 degrees, and a northeasterly wind at 29 miles an hour. and it's Groton that recently had a gust of 46 miles an hour. The average wind speed across the state is pretty high, and the temperature ranges anywhere from the upper 40s to the mid 50s. Right now, New Haven is the warm spot at 54. It's 47 degrees in Putnam, though, and 48 in Waterbury and Torrington. And there's that northerly wind that's averaging, well, as much as 29 miles an hour in Groton. That's the average wind speed. And the average wind speed at Bradley, up there at Windsor Locks, is 25 miles an hour. That wind will slowly subside as the night goes on. So we got this big storm that's offshore of New England. You can see sort of a big swirl to the south of Nantucket. That storm made a close approach to Nantucket this morning, but now it's actually moving away from New England. So therefore, weather conditions will gradually improve. Futurecast does show that we'll have scattered showers tonight, and a large number of the showers will be gone by morning. And then during the day tomorrow, clouds will give way to some partial clearing during the afternoon. Just enough sunshine to boost temperatures up into the 50s. And then as we go into Sunday morning, a mostly cloudy sky. Now later in the day on Sunday, as a weak disturbance approaches from the west, there could be a couple of scattered showers. They'll be hit or miss, and not everybody will get one. And then we'll clear it out as we go through Sunday night into Monday morning, and Monday is shaping up to be a beautiful day with mostly sunny skies. So lows tonight will range anywhere from 38 to 45 across the state. Showers will end and the wind will gradually subside. And then tomorrow, cloudy, then some partial clearing. High temperatures will be in the 50s for tomorrow. Here's your 7-day forecast. Sunday, mostly cloudy. There is that risk for a late day or evening shower, a high of 59. Then Sunday, mostly sunny and 64. A slight chance for a shower Tuesday, then Wednesday, periods of rain, highs in the 50s. Thursday looks mild in the 60s, and then next Friday is going to be windy and cooler, highs back into the 50s. And for the shoreline this weekend, a high of 53 for tomorrow and 54 for your Sunday. Dennis, back to you.
Okay, Bruce, thank you. We are following some breaking news right now from Maryland. 2 members of the Kennedy family are missing at this hour. The search is on for the granddaughter and great-grandson of Robert Kennedy after an apparent canoe accident on Chesapeake Bay. 40-year-old Maeve Kennedy Townsend McKean and 8-year-old Gideon McKean were last seen offshore in rough waters. The canoe and an oar have been found. Still ahead on Eyewitness News, just because we're all stuck inside of our homes doesn't mean we can't buy a new home. How Connecticut realtors are keeping clients safe during this pandemic. And as we head to the break, a moment of calm from the town of Bethany. You're watching Channel 3 Eyewitness News on this Friday night. Massachusetts continues to be hit hard by the coronavirus outbreak, including my hometown of Norwood. We've learned 15 patients at the same nursing home in Norwood all died from the virus. According to a report in the Boston Globe, it happened here at the Charwell House. Over a 2-week period, all of the patients had underlying health conditions. Back here, enforcing those social distancing rules has really become a serious priority for cities and towns across the state. In South Windsor, the town was forced to cover the skate park at Nevers Park with sand. Town leaders say that's because there were large groups of children violating social distancing guidelines. The skate park is off limits, but the rest of the park remains open, so folks cannot get inside.
All right, weather conditions are going to improve as we head into the first weekend of April. Tonight we'll have scattered showers for a while. It's going to be windy, especially between now and midnight. That wind will subside later on tomorrow, or tonight, I should say. And then tomorrow, clouds will give way to some partial clearing. We'll see highs right up there in the middle 50s. And for the shoreline, cloudy skies will give way to a little bit of sunshine, and the temperature should peak around 53 degrees. Mark will have the forecast for Sunday and beyond coming up in the next half hour.
It's the Liberty Bank Surprise Squad on Eyewitness News.
From our first responders to those in the front lines, we're taking the time to say thank you. Channel 3's Shantae Passmore shows us how the Liberty Bank Surprise Squad is showing our appreciation for what healthcare workers do every day.
On a recent beautiful day, residents staying at Southington Care Center would normally sit outdoors with visits from loved ones. But companionship is still found in familiar faces as nurses go above and beyond.
FaceTiming and doing their nails and really sitting with them and taking their time to help them get through this difficult time.
The World Health Organization declared 2020 as the year of the midwife and nurse, a never more fitting title as nurses, alongside doctors, work to protect society's most vulnerable. It's why the Liberty Bank Surprise Squad drove to Dunkin' to buy gift cards and deliver them to this unsuspecting team.
I was scared. I didn't know what to expect.
Humility is a common trait found if you know anyone working in healthcare. Most will say they don't want to be called heroes or rattle off physicians who are doing the heavy lifting. But Unit Secretary Gina Melendez strengthens this front line with armor by ordering the PPE needed for her peers.
In the supplies that she's able to procure for us and keep us equipped with face masks and gloves is absolutely amazing.
She, like her colleagues, knows what's at stake.
We come every day to give 100% to the residents.
On behalf of a grateful state, thank you. In Southington, Shantae Passmore, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
And we do thank all of you for your hard work. Eyewitness News at 5:30 starts right now. I'll see you back here at 6.
From WFSB, Connecticut's #1 local news, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 5:30.
Right now for you at 5:30 and live on the Channel 3 streaming news app, some grim numbers from Governor Ned Lamont coming out this afternoon. Here's a closer look at them. Since yesterday, an additional 1,090 people have tested positive. That is the largest surge we have seen, and it brings the total number of positives now to nearly 5,000. Another 19 people have lost the fight, bringing the total number of people who passed away now to 131. Right now, we're told 909 patients are hospitalized. Now, the governor also shared the prediction for the COVID-19 surge here in our state. Take a look at this. This is a graphic that he shared of the estimated peak hospitalizations. The yellow line is Fairfield County, which could see a peak within the next 2 weeks. Green is New Haven County. The surge there expected 2 weeks after Fairfield, followed by Hartford County. That's the blue line in mid-May. Eastern Connecticut is purple and much less affected, as you can see right there. The curve overall, you are not seeing things right there. It flattens out by the 4th of July.
At its peak, we may need a total of 12,000 COVID beds if nothing changes due to social distancing or technology, and 4,000 ventilators.
It is hard to listen to that. The governor says hospitals all around the state are working right now to increase the number of beds. He believes they can add another 3,000 and hopefully 4,000 beds. Now, they keep talking about self-isolation, and a new study out of Yale says it does work. If 20% of mildly symptomatic people were to self-isolate within 24 hours of symptoms, the need for ICU beds would fall by nearly half. Mildly symptomatic refers to people with cold or flu-like symptoms, from a slight cough to a weakness, maybe requiring a little sleep and bed rest. Major retailers across Connecticut are now dealing with big changes because of the virus, and it will affect the way you shop. The governor signed an executive order that limits the amount of customers now allowed inside local stores. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Courtney Zeller is live right now with more on the changes that we're all going to have to get used to. Hi, Courtney.
Hi, Mark. And that is just one thing out of a list of changes. So if you plan to head to those big name stores, you might have to wait outside before you are allowed in. We saw that today. A line of at least a dozen people waiting to go inside this Bloomfield Home Depot today. That's because 100 customers are already in the store.
I think it's great, actually. The better we can limit stuff and stay away, I think is great, yeah.
Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont signed an executive order last night limiting the amount of customers inside stores. In the order, it says occupancy capped at 50% of store capacity. Home Depot isn't allowing more than 100 customers in their Bloomfield store. Bigger stores will allow a little more. Associates are counting those coming in and out. The company will also close earlier, from 8 at night to now 6 at night. Kathy Lavoie came to this Windsor Target because it wasn't busy.
I looked online to see how busy they were, and it said not very. So I came here and picked up the stuff that I needed. and now I'm going home.
Also in the executive order, Governor Lamont says stores will mark 6-foot spacing in lines on floor. You'll see this at checkout lines and other high traffic areas. Install plexiglass shields to separate employees from customers at checkout lines. Cart and basket handles sanitized between uses. Allow touchless credit card transactions. If that's not possible, sanitize credit card machines, including the pen, regularly. Shopper Kim Grape is here to pick up a prescription. Otherwise, she says she is staying home.
Oh, I went to the grocery store, I think Tuesday, and that's the last time I was out.
And that executive order also calls for store employees, whenever possible, to wear masks and gloves when dealing with the public or when putting away items, say, on store shelves. And by the way, these changes are already in effect. They took place when he signed that executive order at 7 o'clock last night. We're live at the mobile newsroom tonight. Courtney Zeller, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Courtney, thank you very much. It's going to take some getting used to, that's for sure. A local high school is doing its part right now to keep first responders safe by making face shields for every firefighter in town. And they're not done yet. Channel 3 New Haven Bureau Chief Matt McFarland is live right now with the mobile newsroom. And more details on this for us tonight. Hi, Matt.
Hi there, Mark. Hamden's fire chief says it's a community responding to a community crisis, and it all was started by a high school junior.
You just have a little rubber band that you put on the backside, put it on your head, and it holds it there.
It's another line of defense for the first responders who continue to put their lives on the line. Hamden High School junior Connor LaRock, shown here in this home video, had already been using a 3D printer at home to make face shields for healthcare professionals. And that's when he thought of his school and reached out to Dan Cocciola, who heads up Hamden's Engineering Careers Academy.
We have 5-6 3D printers. Is there any way we could use those? And is there anybody in the community that can use them? So we reached out to Chief, and Chief said, please, we need them right now. We need them for our people.
So they got to work printing up all these plastic frames for these face shields, enough for every firefighter in town. This is just the first batch. We're told up next will be this model, which is a little more sturdier.
Our people are taking our 3D printers home so that they can continue to print around the clock. It takes about 4 hours to print one, which is why the capacity of getting 6, 7, or 8 3D printers going at once is the only way to kind of meet the production needs of our community.
And Hamden's fire chief says he can't thank Connor and these teachers enough.
Being able to wear a full face shield in front of the respirator is another layer of risk reduction. In the market right now, it's very difficult to get personal protective equipment for our responders, and by them making this donation, engineering, manufacturing, making this donation, it's just fantastic.
This is Hamden Strong. We are coming together as a town and as a community. We're in a place where we're wrapping our arms around each other, metaphorically, even if we can't do it literally. And that's who we are in Hamden.
And you heard the chief say the need is there. He says, in fact, another local fire chief heard about it, reached out to him, was wondering if they could get some of those face shields as well. And the staff at Hamden High says, of course, they will continue printing them. We're live with the mobile newsroom. Matt McFarland, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
That is fantastic, Matt. Thank you very much. Stay with Channel 3 for continuing coverage of the coronavirus pandemic. You can also use the new Channel 3 streaming news app to watch live coverage of any developments.
All right, weather-wise, after a somewhat dreary and, of course, gray and windy Friday, the showers across Connecticut are beginning to taper off. You can see on early warning pinpoint Doppler over the last 30 minutes, just some light rain and some drizzle basically along and northwest of I-84 heading to the southwest, all part of a big ocean storm that's now pinwheeling southward away from southern New England. So scattered showers or isolated showers will be around this evening, but conditions generally will be improving as we head forward in time. As we've been on the edge or periphery of this storm system, the wind has been a big factor too. You can see the most recent sustained winds are between 15 and 25 miles an hour. In fact, one close to 30 miles an hour in Groton, with gusts today between 40 and 50 miles an hour. And from the periods of rain, those scattered showers, Kent around 1/4 of an inch, but less than 2/10 of an inch from New Britain, Wallingford, and also Lebanon. And temperatures right now range in the mid-40s into the low 50s. So Futurecast showing some on and off isolated showers this evening, and then overnight they should come to an end. And then throughout the day tomorrow for our Saturday, we'll start off with some cloud cover, but as we head through the course of the afternoon, we do anticipate at least some partial clearing. So we'll see some rays of sun tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures by, say, noon getting close to 50, then topping out between 50 and 55 by around 5 p.m. tomorrow. We'll have much more in the second half of the weekend and beyond when we'll get to the 60s. That's ahead when Eyewitness News at 5:30 continues.
Welcome back, everybody. The coronavirus has negatively impacted so many Connecticut businesses, but not the liquor retail industry. Recent Nielsen research shows that U.S. alcohol sales rose 55% in the week ending March 21st. Now, we don't have official numbers from Connecticut, but the turnout at local liquor stores has increased quite a bit, thanks to the stores that have been getting creative in how they attract customers.
Well, we've seen a huge increase in our curbside pickup and delivery. Curbside pickup in particular has just simply been incredible. We are noticing that people are buying the average tickets a lot larger for the simple fact that people are buying for family members, neighbors, obviously for themselves.
I can relate, that's for sure. Now, in addition to the curbside option, many liquor stores also ship locally, and local wineries and breweries are also now allowed to deliver, and that is brand new in that latest executive order here in Connecticut. Now, before we go to break, we want to share the love with you on this Friday. Take a look. This is 8-year-old Noah and 2-year-old Liam from Torrington. They worked on a family project giving support to their community during this difficult time. You can see the rainbow right there. Great job to them. We love seeing it. We love seeing your pictures. Just a reminder, keep sharing them with us. You can do it on the Channel 3 app. We'll be right back.
There, yeah. First name is Yosef. Last name is Wolvovsky. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, you're good. Do you know how long it's going to be for? Correct. Okay, very good. I hope the weather is good.
Yeah, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now, Channel 3 early warning weather with meteorologist Mark Dixon.
All right, the timing is good, or at least is improving as we head into the weekend, as our windy and wet weather will soon be coming to an end. But the weekend isn't going to feature a whole lot of sunshine, but it is going to be primarily dry. Here's our 7-day forecast for tomorrow morning. Clouds give way to at least some partial afternoon clearing. Temperatures top out in the mid-50s, several degrees milder for Sunday. Now, Sunday we'll see a mostly cloudy sky with just a slight chance for a late-day isolated shower, a situation where many towns will remain dry. Then Monday will be partly to mostly sunny. Temperatures head well into the low and mid-60s. Then Tuesday, there's a chance for a late day shower, but chances for rain increase on Wednesday, highs in the mid-50s. Periods of rain, some drizzle as the storm system moves through. Then Thursday, dry, 60 to 65, and then perhaps a few more showers in here by early Friday of next week. But currently, we are tracking across the state areas of just light rain or sprinkles, basically along the northwest of 84, heading to the southwest. All complements of a big ocean storm that's been keeping us windy and on the wet side. There's a right cam view from Torrington where some rain just came to an end. You can see the drops on the camera lens with the extensive cloud cover. Cloudy, but basically are essentially dry here, looking downstream of the Connecticut River from Middletown and from southeastern Connecticut as we check in on New London. 49, a northeasterly wind, at one point gusting to say 46 miles an hour. So we do have temperatures across the state ranging from the upper 40s to the low and mid 50s, and that wind, again, it is up out of the north, and sustained winds are between 15 and 25 miles an hour, and today we have seen gusts in excess of 40, but that wind will start to relax tonight as that area of low pressure that you can see there moving to the bottom part of your screen, that counterclockwise pinwheeling action, that's the big ocean storm that's going to be moving southward and away from Connecticut, so that's going to take the wind and the rain with it. So futurecast showing the showers really diminishing over the next several hours and certainly overnight. Then throughout the day tomorrow, starting off with some cloud cover, and then we'll see at least some partial clearing during the afternoon. Then for Sunday, a day that will feature more or less dry weather for most of the day at least, mostly cloudy, and you'll see in the last few frames of this animation by say 4 o'clock, showers to our west. Again, fairly isolated nature begin working in our direction. So high temperatures for our Saturday, they're going to be in the low and mid 50s inland, low 50s near 52 along the shoreline, 55 for Hartford. Sunset tomorrow at 7:20. We should be able to see at least some of that. Then on our 3-day forecast for Sunday, mostly cloudy with that chance for a late day shower, but could be several degrees milder than tomorrow. And then Monday, certainly mild, 60 to 65 with a mostly sunny sky. If you've not heard yet here at Channel 3, we have created some coloring pages for you at home, for you to perhaps to print off and have your kids color in and then send back to us here at Channel 3. Sent them off to my nephews in Dallas, and they were hard at work today coloring those in, Drew and Max. And again, these are available through the Channel 3 app, WFSB.com. PDFs are available. You download them, you print them, you color them in. Take a picture, send them back to us at eyewitness@WFSB.com, and we'll be sharing those online and also on air. So thank you to my nephews who took some time today to do some coloring. I know as they are staying home and doing homeschooling, at least taking a break to get a little coloring in for their uncle up here in Connecticut. All right, that's the latest from here. Back to you.
Mark, that is great. I love seeing it. Thank you very much. Well, in the coming weeks, I should say, are some of the most important and highly anticipated religious holidays of the year. Easter, Passover, and Ramadan. People are being urged to safely observe the holiday season by staying home and using virtual communication tools. We're seeing that more and more these days. Joining us right now is Rabbi Yosef Wolvovsky of the Chabad Jewish Center in Glastonbury. Rabbi, thank you very much for joining us. I see some little people with you right there.
Well, the little peoples are two of my daughters and my son, but I'm sorry that we're doing this remotely. Hopefully in the future, or very near future, we'll be able to see each other personally.
Yes, we would certainly like that as well. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk with us right now. Can you talk to us a little bit about how this coronavirus situation has impacted you, your family, your congregation?
Well, our family, first of all, we're spending much more quality time together, and I appreciate the coloring sheets. So yeah, we do a lot of creative things and we spend a lot of time together. It's obviously both a burden and a pleasure, that part of it. I was telling my friend, if we were to know the reason of why we have to be together, we would be fine. We're all together. But the reason is sort of scary and obviously something that we hope will reverse itself quite soon. As far as the organization, usually this month would be a month of great activity, inviting people in, cooking a lot, preparing meals for hundreds of people. We do every year a family-style Passover Seder for tens and tens of people. And this year we had to really reverse everything. Instead of people coming to us, we're going to people, or we're sending things to the people. We're encouraging social distance to the extreme. In other words, even when I personally go to drop off packages for people or volunteers, we leave it there, and either we arrange before they should know, or we let them know right after that the package has been dropped off. So it's really a reversal of, I guess, the normal role that we would be playing, which is inviting people in.
For sure, but everybody's still working together at this point, which is really nice. I know it's hard for so many people. Obviously you're a man of faith. What kind of lesson can we all learn from what's happening right now?
Well, I try not to be a God's lawyer, so I don't think the answers for the why, but I do think that this gives us an opportunity to reflect. And I think the number one thing we really have to do is be sensitive to those who might be impacted directly. And I have family and friends who are impacted directly, and definitely community members. So the number one thing is to be there for them. And the second thing is to be there for each other. Even those who are not directly impacted, we're impacted psychologically, we're impacted in our schedule, we're impacted economically. So I think it's more of a question of what we do about it and how we react than how we see, I guess, the theology of it.
Okay. Rabbi Yosef Wolvovsky, we certainly appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk with us today, and we wish you the best in the coming weeks, sir. And to your family as well.
You. Thank you, and stay safe and stay healthy, and as much as possible, stay home.
That is right. I like that. Good